Hello, scholars, and happy Friday. I'm so excited for Friday. I love Fridays. Welcome to your second recorded lesson. Hopefully, this will go better than the first one we had. I bet it will. So let's dive on in because a lot of you have a couple videos to catch up on. So I'm going to make this one short and sweet and to the point. So let's go ahead and dive in. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. All right, so this is the PowerPoint we went over on our live lesson. You may have just watched the video of it, so it should be fresh in your brain. So this is what we're doing today. We are comparing and contrasting two different Mr. Potato Heads, okay? So last class, you drew and labeled a Mr. Potato Head, okay? So we talked about observations, and we were observing a Mr. Potato Head and talking about how to observe, we notice details and we take notes and we record data. And we talked about how important it is for us to be really detailed in our note taking. So that's why on our Mr. Potato Head, we drew him the best we could, made him look exactly like the picture that we have over here, and we labeled what color his things were, how many there were, and where they were. You noticed that they're similar. They're where each item is. So if you were in second and third grade, you drew and labeled this Mr. Potato Head. You may have said yellow glasses, green hat, 2 round eyes, 2 pink ears, 1 red nose, things like that. So if you're in second or third grade, this is what you're doing now. Second and third grade only. You are now going to be labeling this Mr. Potato Head, okay? You are going to draw and label this Mr. Potato Head, all right? That is what you are doing for this assignment. You're doing it on your own. No help from me. This is what you're doing. Second and third grade only for this one. Remember, you can find this PowerPoint in your Google Classroom or on your Seesaw. So that's why I'm going to move ahead. So second and third grade, make sure you have both Mr. Potato Heads drawn on your paper. It can be on the back or on the next sheet of paper, but make sure both of them are drawn. For fourth and fifth grade, you drew this Mr. Potato Head. This one right here, and we drew and labeled him in class. Now, you're going to be labeling and drawing this one next to it, okay? And this is why we're doing this. In class next week, we are going to be talking about the differences and the similarities of both of these. We're going to take a few short minutes and talk about what's the same and what's different. This is going to help us a lot with these next lessons that we're going to dive into the content of our science curriculum. Knowing how to observe and knowing how to spot differences and similarities in different objects, okay? Now remember, difference means what's not the same. So if I had these two pens right here, all right, what's different? Well, they're not the same color. This one is blue and this one is red. But what's the same? They're both pens. They're both clicky pens. And they're both the same kind of pen. So that's what I'm talking about when we talk about what's similar and what's different. So once again, if you are in second or third grade, you are drawing and labeling both of these. If you are in 4th or 5th grade, you are drawing and labeling both of these. I'm making this video short because I want to give you the most time to turn in this assignment, okay? So, to turn it in, for 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, you go to your assignments right here on Mr. Potato Head Observation, and you click on the Google form right there, and you upload a picture. If you are in 2nd grade, you find Science right here, and you upload a picture. If you have any questions at all about this, remember you can always contact me. I've shared my contact information, so you guys have it, and you guys can message me on Seesaw and on Google Classroom. Also, if you have not turned in your assignment from last week, the what is a scientist and what do you think they do, you need to do that this week, okay? At least in 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, I only have 36 responses, okay? So this is really good practice for you to take pictures and upload them from your computer. And remember, I'm going to be looking at this later on and use as extra credit. So that's going to be very important to have later on. And if you're in 2nd or 3rd grade or 2nd grade, remember, I can see it on Seesaw as well. You need to go down to your activities and you need to find where it says Science. Remember, that activity is under week 1 PowerPoint, and it'll have my name beside it. I'll show it one more time right here. Week 1 PowerPoint about Mrs. Lutz right here. All right. So if you guys have any questions at all, let me know. I'll be happy to answer anything at all. But for the time being, you are making sure you are drawing and labeling your Mr. Potato Heads. The PowerPoint is in Google Classroom and on Seesaw. And you are making sure you are turning in your journal entry from last week. So if you have not turned in your journal entry from last week, you are turning in 2 assignments today. The Mr. Potato Head one, and what is a scientist and what do they do? All right, so reach out if you have any questions, and I will see you guys next week. Have a great weekend. Bye.